Good evening and welcome to Real Talk, where every Sunday night we offer insight, education, and resources to in-home caregivers and those affected in their world, the children, the parents, those taking care of them, and all of their extended family. Our goal is to offer real-life topics and learning through discussion of real issues and offering real solutions. Tonight, I am really excited to welcome our guest. I've been trying to get on for a while, but she's and that's a good thing. So tonight we are speaking with Jill, who is the head of CAPPA, or it's essentially a postpartum and childbirth professional association. And I'm going to let her give the exact definition and tell us a little bit about it. And I believe, Jill, you're a postpartum doula also, correct?
That's true.
Fantastic. So before we get into our learning topic, I would love to have you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, what your role is at CAPPA, and kind of how you ended up there and where things are going.
Sure. So thank you so much for having me on, Tanya. And I do appreciate you being patient as we make time to get together. It's a pleasure to be here with you online and always in person as well. So CAPPA is the Childbirth and Postpartum Professional Association, and it was started in 1998 by Tracy Wilson Peters. I've been a part of it for about the last 10 years, and over the years after I became a faculty member training postpartum doulas, I took on more and more roles within CAPPA, and when Tracy decided that she was ready to step down, she asked me if I would take her place. So it was a huge honor, and I'm really proud to now be the CEO of CAPPA. You mentioned that I was a postpartum doula, and I feel like my job there is, I'm a helper. I take care of people, and my role with CAPPA is really to take care of our members. So it's something I'm really excited and proud to do. And I love talking to newborn care specialists as well. I've had the pleasure of training many newborn care specialists and nannies in my trainings in the past. So such a wonderful group of people, and I'm excited to talk to all of you.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you. And having been part of CAPPA for 3 years now, and having taken more than one class through you, I can attest to the value that there is in CAPPA and what it brings, what it has brought to my knowledge base already, and what it in turn lets us share with clients. And I loved what you said, that we might be in leadership roles or we might be in teaching roles, but at the heart of it, we are caregivers. That's what we do. We serve and take care of people. And that doesn't change no matter what your title is. Yeah. So this past year has been one of a lot of big changes, and COVID has thrown all of us into even bigger changes. And I'm really excited about some of the changes that are coming. I'm not so excited about some of what COVID has brought for all of us. But I'm excited to kind of talk to you specifically about how that's impacting conference and how CAPPA has done. I got to tell you, I'm part of several organizations, and how CAPPA has just gone, all right, fine, we'll deal with it, and has really just charged ahead to still provide a really high quality conference. And I'm excited about it. So let's talk about conference a little. It's a huge thing.
Yes, I'm even wearing my conference t-shirt. I had to represent here. Well, I really appreciate you saying that, Tanya. COVID and it has brought a lot of changes to how we normally do things. CAPPA has always been very much about our in-person trainings. That's what we promote the most. And I have to say how incredible all of our faculty are. They were so quick to, as we gave permission to take their trainings virtual, we all came together. They would learn new tricks and they would adjust, and just really making all of our different programs. We offer labor doula, postpartum doula, childbirth educator, new parent educator, and lactation educator programs, all under our CAPPA umbrella. So you can be a member and be a part of all of those different programs. But they very quickly shifted into this virtual opportunity. So thank you again for saying that. I just have to give kudos to our faculty who have just worked so hard to it's really tough. You know, as somebody who offers education, doing what you do, you kind of get in, you change it up, you do new things, but shifting how you present to doing it in front of a computer screen instead of in person, that was a really big change. So, but yes, let's talk about conference. So you're speaking with us this year, so I have to thank you since I have you right here. All of our speakers have really been incredible and did make it easy for us to transition. When, I always think about, as I said earlier, I always think about other people. And when I was feeling uncomfortable about traveling, I live in Michigan, so traveling from here to Texas, where our conference was scheduled, I was starting to feel like I don't think this is going to be able to happen in September. And then, we have our office staff that's located in Georgia, so they would have had to travel. And it's their job. So I really didn't feel comfortable requiring people to travel. And if that was just a few of us, how do I ask all of our members to put their health and safety at risk? The hotel was really wonderful with us. The Marriott in San Antonio was great on the Riverwalk with letting us adjust, and that was also really helpful. So thank you to the Marriott. And now we're working with H.U.G, which is an online platform for a conference. And we actually opened it up yesterday, and we already have tons of interaction, which is something I'm really thankful to everybody who's participating, just because that's always the best part of CAPPA conference, is just conversations like you and I having right now, getting to know each other a little bit better and make those real friendships that can help all of us grow. So that's a quick overview.
Calendar to get on there and figure all that stuff out before we're all on there and the conference actually officially opens.
Right. The sessions actually officially drop September 7th. So we thought we would give everyone about a week to kind of figure things out and talk to each other. And Alethea, who works in our CAPPA office, just did a really wonderful overview of all the different possibilities if you're using the app or if you choose to attend conference from H.U.G's desktop version. So there's a lot of options there.
Fantastic. So aside from the virtual aspect of it, let's just talk about what CAPPA offers at their conference, because I belong to multiple professional organizations. And one of the things that just blew my mind when I first joined CAPPA was, wait, I can attend conference and they have all these great speakers and I'm not having to drop like another $500 or $600 registration fee.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so that has always been one of my favorite parts of CAPPA, even before I was in this leadership role. Our mission, in its simplest form, is education, support, and success. And I really do believe that continuing education is one of the things that sets us apart as professionals when we're working with families. I love to take part myself in learning, continuing education, and especially if we can offer that to people at a low cost. Conferences are very expensive. Continuing education can be extremely expensive, and that really makes it not very accessible for so many of us. Doulas, newborn care specialists, we're not millionaires. We're not, we don't have thousands of extra dollars to devote to education all the time, even though it is really important to all of us. So at CAPPA, thanks to some of our vendors and our sponsors, we've been able to keep the cost very low. So our CAPPA membership is $75 a year. Anybody can be a member. We have members who are from all walks of life. We have OBGYNs, midwives, doulas, childbirth educators, nannies, newborn care specialists. So even some people who are considering becoming a doula or a postpartum doula or any one of our programs, sometimes they'll join just to get a feel for the organization beforehand. So our membership is $75 a year, and then registration for conference is $5. So our general sessions, you can attend 6 general sessions for $5 basically, or $80 if you want to add the cost of the registration with the membership. So very low cost, very accessible, and I'm really proud to offer it. such a high quality education. So yeah, people don't believe it, Tanya. It's so true. I've had multiple people this year who are like, I had talked myself out of it. I did not think it was real that I could attend all of these sessions for $5. And we do also offer optional sessions. There are 8 this year. Those are $30 each, or $200 for all 8. So still low cost, and absolutely incredible. Just because they're low cost, please don't think that they're not really high quality educational opportunities.
So somebody could, if they wanted to and they were interested in just 1 or 2 of the optional sessions, they can purchase those individually as well, correct?
They could. Yep. So everybody has to be a member to be a part of conference. They have to pay that $5 registration. But beyond that, yes, they can choose 1 optional session to add on, or all 8. It's completely up to them, however many they would like to add.
Fantastic. So if a non-CAPPA member wanted to attend conference, essentially they would need to join CAPPA and then pay the $5.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And that is something that we do have many people are doing. People who are members of other organizations or just working in this field, they, see the speakers that we have and they really want to attend. So that is a reason some people join CAPPA. Absolutely.
Right. So talk to me for a minute about conference in general. Kind of what topics do you cover? What kind of speakers come and present? Tell our audience a little bit about that.
All right. So conference, the main goal is really for us to learn together and for us to network. As I was creating my welcome for conference this year, that's something that I do really miss, is just being in a room with everybody. That feeling, it's a palpable feeling of being with other people who care so deeply about, really basically we focus on pregnancy up until about 3 or 4 months. But some of our speakers talk about relationships after you have a baby and all that kind of stuff. So it really covers the whole perinatal journey. It really is a special feeling. So we're really trying to create that same palpable feeling of connection with our members for conference. But all right, so let me just give you a rundown. We have sessions on creating digital courses. Ellie Taylor is coming back again this year. She spoke last year. She wrote the book Becoming Us. She's going to be talking about kind of the journey that families take after they have their babies and that relationship. I love having her come and speak. She's from Australia, so she's one of the reasons why when we're thinking about conference, we can't even have our international speakers come join us. So she's an author and a really incredible person speaking at conference. We have Dr. Kristen Gullery coming to speak. She is a therapist and an educator, and she's going to be talking about self-care, which, as we have already talked about, is people who are caring for others. We have to, people say it all the time, but put our oxygen mask on first. I will, raise my hand and say that, yes, I too have a hard time remembering to do this. I sometimes even put sticky notes up around my house to remember to stop and take a breath and do something that makes me happy, have a little dance party or whatever. So she's so fun. But we covered that whole gambit. So we really try to think about what do our members want to learn about, and then go from there. So there may be some things that are more applicable for labor doulas, for postpartum doulas, for childbirth educators, for lactation educators, and for newborn care. Sorry, I'm using your stuff. For new parent educators. So there's a little something for everybody. But I also think anybody who's involved with families throughout pregnancy and when babies are part of the family, when we're taking care of postpartum families, they all kind of intertwine together. And so you might learn something about breastfeeding that helps you be a better labor doula so that you can better prepare your clients. So really all of our sessions, I think, are valuable to anybody who's kind of on that journey with families. But they do kind of apply specifically to the different programs that we offer.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think the more well-rounded we are as caregivers, the better level of care that we provide. And I know that for me, sometimes I'm at a conference and some of the things I'm learning might be things I mostly already know, but there's
Hmm.
always something. There's always, even if it's a topic I'm really familiar with, there's always a little nugget or a little kernel that either is like, wow, I didn't know that, or because I'm kind of a geek, it
Yep.
challenges me to want to keep learning and go forward. So I always tell people, even if it's a topic you think you know everything around, show up anyway. And I don't mean just physically show up mentally too,
Hmm.
because the day you think you know it all, the day you think you don't have anything else to learn is the day you need to retire.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really love the idea of staying teachable. And I think that our families are learning, new information comes out, new evidence comes out. CAPPA really strongly tries to always maintain evidence based education. So, yes, I agree. When I have attended conferences, I'm always looking for that one thing that I can take away. And I really believe that with all of our sessions, you'll take away at least one thing
Uh-huh.
that will help you in your work with families.
Yeah. I tell people that even if the only thing you take away is a strong, healthy disagreement with particular
Yes.
topic, at least you
Right.
know more firmly who you are and what you believe so that you can better select the proper clients to support. And I think
Absolutely.
that can be huge. So, with conference being virtual this year, there's actually an app that needs to be downloaded. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, you're not just doing this on Zoom, or how is this all going to work? So tell us just a little bit around that. I realize you guys have prepared and put out an informational um, thing about that, and we'll
Right.
put in the feed where they can find that. But tell us a little bit about that app, how it works, and especially if, say, I want to watch it on my desktop versus
Mhm.
my phone, do I still need an app? Does it matter what kind of computer I have? How does that work?
Yes, so it is a lot, and I have been really proud of all of our members who are attending conference who have already downloaded the app. We were a little like, "Ooh, this is something new. How are people going to feel about it?" So I'm just really proud of everybody for trying something new and working hard to figure it out. So uh, as I said, connection is really important at CAPPA. We're not just an association that doesn't care about our members. We really want all of our members to get to know each other, to learn together, to network. I think it makes us all stronger when we're working with families. And so we found an app after looking at several different options. It's an organization called H.U.G, Who, like WHOVA. Um, and they have a lot of really cool options where when you're listening to a session, you can ask questions and then other people can upvote those questions. So then when we offer our Q&A with speakers a few days after the sessions drop, we'll have some questions that speakers can respond to. Usually in our in-person conferences, you get to know all the speakers a little bit. You have the opportunity to meet and chat with them. So the app really gives us that opportunity of really connecting and chatting with other people. It is something that you have to download. It's a free app, and if you do not have to download the app, you could participate only from your desktop. However, the desktop doesn't have all the same bells and whistles that the app has. So, as I mentioned earlier, it really does. If you really want to get the most out of conference this year, then I highly encourage you to get the H.U.G app. Um, However, if you just want to use your desktop to watch the sessions, then you can do that. And we do have, ways that you can learn more. We have tutorials, and we're here to help at the CAPPA office if you need help figuring it out. I know I have had to ask questions as I'm navigating it as well. It's pretty intuitive, but sometimes it's like, oh, if I push this button, what might happen? So don't be scared to play around with it. And like I said, I like to use it in different ways. So I'm using the app to really interact with people, and then I'm watching the sessions up on my desktop, or even using AirPlay and popping it up onto my TV. So then you're life size right in front of me, Tanya. When I'm learning from you, I get to see your face. You're in my living room. so, um, and then I can watch you and also be on the app. So I've used it a couple different ways, and I think our members probably will too.
Fantastic. So depending on the size of your TV, it might even
Yeah.
be bigger than life.
I think it might be, yes. I'll take a photo of us together with
Right,
you
there we
on my
go.
TV. Yeah.
All right, I'll be looking for that.
Yes.
So no, that would be great. So it looks like I'm going to have to download the app, and because I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to do it on my desktop. It'll be easier, one less app to have to deal with. But my plan is it's on my calendar actually to get that downloaded for tomorrow to be ready. And so I need to take a look at all of that.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's a free app. And like I said, you don't have to, but I think if you want to get the most out of it, that's really the way to do it. So I'm excited that you're going to join us on the app. That'll be great.
Absolutely. And does it work also if you have a tablet, like an iPad or a Kindle or things like that?
I'm actually not sure. So we have Apple products at my house, and a lot of our office staff also does. So I'll have to double check. I can add in your comments later if we have, if it works. It should work on any Android or iOS system. You should be able to use the app that way, but I haven't tried it out yet. So
Okay, cool, cool. And we're going to share links to CAPPA and to the conference, and we'll share a link to that app as well so that everybody has everything that they need right there in the feed of this when they're watching it, because a lot of our people do watch this on replay. So
mhm.
we'll make sure that's all there, but it'll be there when it plays live as well. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience about CAPPA or the conference experience or anything else you want them to know?
I mean, as a member myself, I always go back to some of my first experiences. And I was in education. I was a middle school teacher before I started working as a postpartum doula. And when I was a teacher, I couldn't just reach out to the people who wrote the books that I was teaching and things like that. When I became a doula, I reached out to a couple different authors, the books that I had to read for my certification, and everybody was so accessible and just so real and honest, so forthcoming, and so that's something that I've really found in this field that I love. And I think with conference, you'll be amazed at these absolutely incredible, like you, Tanya, you're such an amazing professional. You're very accessible, and when you're part of our conference, people get to interact with you and learn from you, and they might think like, oh, Tanya, she runs Newborn Care Solutions, I don't know if I can talk to her. But you're so relatable, you're easy to speak with. And that's how it is with all of our speakers. That's how it is with our faculty. We're just real people who care about things and are excited to share it with others. So I think that's one of the things that I would just invite people to be part of our community. I think it's a really warm, welcoming community, and you make connections with people that you might have not thought that you could have, but it has literally changed my life being part of CAPPA. I'm really proud of it, and I love that we have this community. So I'm thankful that you're sharing it with your community. I think newborn care specialists are really wonderful. I know a lot of them who also are postpartum doulas, are also our new parent educators. Like you said, you love to learn. I'm that way too. Like, I want to take another training. I want to keep learning more. And so I think CAPPA is a really great place to do that. Obviously, that's what I think, but our members can speak for us as well. It's a great place to be, to connect with others.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I do try very hard to stay accessible to people as much as I possibly can. Although, as you know, the demands when you are an educator and running a company or running an organization, there's a lot of demands and it's challenging sometimes, but we try.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're moms, we have families, we have our partners, there is a million things going on, but I know that's the case for everybody. So yeah, absolutely. I know we're in that together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree with you as well. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty nervous at my first CAPPA conference because there has been for a long time, there's been kind of this misunderstanding between what newborn care specialists do and doulas do. And of course, people fall into the believing stereotypes.
Hmm.
And so I was a little nervous about coming to conference, my very first conference, because I was really afraid that I was basically, going to sit in the corner and nobody would talk to me and wouldn't want anything to do with me.
Right.
And my experience, now granted, I'd already been through a CAPPA training and I had a great educator and I learned a lot. But my experience was entirely different than what I was expecting. I found people were warm, They were open. They wanted to know about what it was that I did and what we were offering. And they were really fascinated to learn. And I felt like they were really open to hearing it. And
Mhm.
I found that, my preconceptions and what I'd heard about stereotypes were entirely wrong. And that was really great. And I remember at the end of my first conference saying, wow, this was so amazing. This was not what I was expecting, nor what I had been led to believe might be my experience. Because I
Mhm.
had several people say to me, oh, you're going to go to a doula conference? That's not going to be good. And it was not that way at all. So,
Well, yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. And I come across oftentimes as more of an extrovert, but it's hard for me sometimes to go up and meet new people. I think a lot of people feel that way. But CAPPA really does make it easy. We have a lot of really welcoming, wonderful people, and it's special. I think that's one of the things that makes CAPPA really special. I think it's easy for me to say that now, sitting in the position of CEO, like, let me tell you all the special things about CAPPA, but I'm in this role because I felt that way from the beginning. Um, it is rare, I think, to be able to walk into a room and have people be open to learning from you. But that's really one of our parts of our CAPPA approach, is to build bridges with others. I believe that we all have a place in taking care of families, whether you're a newborn care specialist or a postpartum doula, um, any of our different programs. It's important that we can work together, that we can understand the roles better, so that we can communicate that to families. And so I'm really glad that was your experience. That was my experience as well. And I don't mean to be too like woo woo and, like CAPPA's great, but it really is a feeling from the top down. We want to know our members. We listen. We want to get to know all of you, because it helps us better teach you. I think as an educator, that's something that's really important, is knowing who it is that you're teaching. And so I'm really proud that that is a feeling that people get at CAPPA conference, and I think it will still apply to our online event as well.
yeah, I think it will too. And I can attest to what you said earlier also, that your office staff is phenomenal in providing really great quality support and following up and everything.
They're so wonderful. Like, I am so grateful to them for everything they do, taking care of our members. Um, they're patient, they're kind, and they just go above and beyond all the time. So, they all were working there before I came on, and I was really happy that they wanted to stay when I came on. They're a joy to work with, and I'm just really grateful to how well they take care of our members. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's something I'm really proud of with CAPPA.
yeah, absolutely. I understand the value of that as well.
Yes, yes.
I have that kind of support in our office too, and it's
I know. They were so wonderful setting this all up. And so just thank you for making it a really easy process for me. I appreciate it.
not a problem. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Real Talk, Jill. It has been an honor to have you on and to hear about all the excitement that's coming up with conference. So, for those of you out there who might be interested and have not checked it out yet, be sure and go to the links that are in the feed and see what CAPPA and their conference might have to offer you. Because, as Jill said, you don't have to be a newborn care specialist. You don't have to be a postpartum doula. You don't have to be a nanny to be able to benefit from this. Because at the bottom core of it all, we are here to serve and support families. And regardless of what our title is, that's what we're all there for. And that's our common goal. And CAPPA has lots to be able to offer to that. I can speak to that from having attended conferences and seeing what they have to offer and the quality of what it is there. So I am really excited about it. I'm excited about conference, and I really appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Tanya. And if any of you who are watching end up joining us at conference, please reach out to me. I would love to know that this is where you found out about conference. Thank you, Tanya.
Absolutely. Thank you. If you have any questions for Jill about this topic or anything related to CAPPA or their conference, make sure that you put it in the feed and tag either Jill, CAPPA, or Newborn Care Solutions, and we'll make sure that those questions get answered for you. And if you're wanting to rewatch this segment or catch any of our past Real Talk episodes, along with accessing our other content, hop over to newborncaresolutions.com and click on the Education tab. Thanks for joining us tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Tanya.